Hey guys, it's Heather, and I'm really excited to announce that I'm getting a new puppy. And with all the great things that come along with puppies, one of the things that getting a new dog or a new pet entails is buying a lot of supplies. And so I thought I would take this opportunity to make a video of all the stuff that I have bought in preparation of welcoming my new puppy into my home. Don't feel like some of the extra things that I have gotten are completely necessary. There are definitely some things that you're going to need, every puppy's going to need, and then there are just some things that you're going to want because they were fun or cute or, they caught your eye. So don't feel pressured that you need to go out and spend a ton of money just because you're welcoming a new dog or a new puppy into your home and your family. But with that said, let's get started. So I'm going to get started with the important stuff. What does every puppy need? Your puppy is going to need puppy food. So one of the first things that I did was I talked to the breeder that my puppy is with and asked, what is the puppy currently eating? And so I went out and got a small bag of that food. I really recommend keeping the puppy on whatever they're familiar with eating for at least 2 to 3 weeks when they get home, just to help the transition of being somewhere new, being away from their mom and their litter mates, and the stress that just naturally brings. You don't want to be throwing in digestive distress at the same time when you're switching to a new food. Now, if the food they're currently eating isn't something that you're really comfortable feeding, maybe you want to feed something better or a different type of food, then go ahead and get some of that and slowly start to transition them, once you've had them home and everything's going well. After, I'd say, the first 2 to 3 weeks, it's safe to do that. So I got this little metal container. It's nice. It's got a silicone seal so that it'll keep it airtight. But I'm actually recommending, and this is what I do, is keep the bag of the puppy food in whatever container you're gonna use. Bag clip as well to keep it extra airtight, and then whatever measuring cup you're gonna use. I really recommend using an actual measuring cup and not just like an old plastic tumbler or bowl or whatever you have handy, because you really do want to track not only how much food you're giving your puppy, but how much they're eating. And so having an exact measuring cup is going to be really important for that. So everything goes in here nice and airtight and light tight. So both of those things will cause food to go bad and go stale, and a lot of dogs will start to become picky eaters, and you're wondering why they're suddenly turning their nose up at their puppy food is because it's starting to go bad. The other thing about puppy food is you really only want to get enough for about 3 to 4 weeks, how much that your puppy will eat in 3 to 4 weeks. So if you buy a huge bag, by the time you get halfway through that bag, it's going to be super stale, and more likely the food's going to start going bad. So it's definitely more economical to buy bigger bags of food. It's cheaper per pound to buy, a 25 or 30 pound bag versus buying a small, 4 or 5 pound bag. But unless you have the freezer space, and remember to portion out that food, what you're going to do is basically put anything that they're not going to eat in the first month in the freezer, and then that way it's keeping it fresh. But that's probably going to take up some freezer space, so make sure you have that. Otherwise, just buy a smaller bag to keep it fresh. Along with food is treats. So I'm a dog trainer. I'm going to use a lot of food, his daily portion of kibble, as well as some higher value treats in training, and also just for enrichment and activities to keep him busy and play and training and all that stuff. So I'm pretty picky about the ingredients that I like to feed my dogs. So I want to look for really quality brands, stuff that's made in the US, stuff that's minimal ingredient. I like the freeze-dried meats, that type of stuff, the raw stuff that's shelf-stable. Those make really not only high value, but they're really palatable, and the dogs and puppies really like it and tend to minimize any sort of upset stomach and digestive distress. Versus giving them lower quality treats or treats that just have a lot of ingredients that are going to be new to the puppy. So I like this brand, Full Moon. I got this bag at Tractor Supply, actually had these. And they have a couple of different types. These are the beef savory sticks. and they look like really little skinny sausages. I like them. You can either hold them in the hand and let the puppy kind of nibble at the end, or you can cut them up into really little pieces and use them that way. So got some of these because I saw that our local Tractor Supply had them. I got some of these are Instinct, the Raw Boost mixers, and it's basically just chicken and some vegetables. Instinct, I like that brand. I love the raw ingredients. And I got these at PetSmart, at our local PetSmart. And then the third type of treat that I got, for now at least, is the Stella and Chewy meal mixers. And these are also chicken as well because the puppy is currently eating a chicken-based food, and I wanted to change as little as possible, like I said earlier, to minimize any sort of digestive distress on his little system. So Stella and Chewy's I'm a big fan of. They have frozen raw, they have shelf-stable, freeze-dried raw. These meal mixers are great. We use them in our training with all of our clients as a high-value treat. We also, I've used them personally with picky eaters, just a little bit on top of their meals to help kind of entice them to eat a little bit better. So I love those as well. Remember, you're gonna need bowls for your puppy, and I only bought a couple. I have lots of big ones, but I actually had to go out and buy some really little ones. I've never had a puppy this small before. I really prefer to use stainless steel bowls because you can throw them in the dishwasher. You can make sure that they're really clean and sanitized versus the plastic and ceramic bowls. And the ceramic bowls, there's so many cute options, and I was looking in the store and I was so tempted to buy some. But the problem with plastic and ceramic bowls is that they tend to hold bacteria a little bit more. They get more of a biofilm in them. So even when you're cleaning them, like with soap and water in the sink on a regular basis, they're still kind of dirty and they get kind of that slimy feeling. That's that biofilm. So stainless steel is what I use. And I also got the ones that have the silicone on the bottom so that they won't slide around. Not that this is a big puppy, but with larger breed puppies, you put a bowl down, they're like literally sledding it across your kitchen floor, and that noise drives me crazy. So silicone on the bottom is great for that reason. The other thing I bought, if you guys are familiar with, are the licky mats. I thought these would be a really good option for either some independent enrichment, meaning I give this to him when I'm busy, maybe in my office or doing work around the house, or when I'm leaving the house and he's going to stay home, just to keep him happy and busy and engaged and enriched with something interesting. And they know that licking is very soothing and calming for dogs, so if you can encourage them to do that activity in a appropriate outlet, then you're gonna have a happier dog. So I got a couple of those licky mats. They come in different sizes, different shapes. Some of them have suction cups. These ones don't. I'm kind of bummed that I didn't notice. And I've got the ones that didn't have the suction cups on the back because then you can stick them to the floor or other type of surface, you know, if you have wood floor or something like that. And again, they're not gonna slide around. So I'm a big fan of these guys. I also am waiting on a supplement that should be coming in the mail any day now. I ordered on Amazon. It's the supplement that the breeder is feeding. It's just a vitamin mix. It's got probiotics, vitamins, you know, all sorts of good stuff in there. So I'll be adding that into his daily food as well. And then I also got this Honest Kitchen is the brand, and it's the Goat's Milk Daily Booster. So this is actually a powder. I like giving goat's milk. Goat's milk is really good for dogs. It's also a good way to add moisture into their diet. It's a good way to help picky eaters be a little bit more excited about their food, but also it's just like a really great source of nutrition and a lot of good stuff in here. But having to constantly buy fresh goat's milk or the frozen stuff and then remember to thaw it is a little bit more of a hassle. So I was excited to see that they have this powdered form, so you can just mix it with water and use it that way. So that's pretty cool. The other stuff that I got food-wise, and these are really big and I intend to cut them because my puppy will be really small, is just some bully sticks. So I really like bully sticks. not rawhide, so make sure you understand the distinction. Bully sticks are made from cow, beef, pizzle, and it's natural. It's something that's meant to be digested. It's not going to cause obstruction. If they, when they eat it, it's not going to get stuck in their digestive tract, assuming that they're, eating little pieces and not swallowing it whole. So I like bully sticks to keep puppies busy when we're doing crate training or when we're traveling or just when I need him to be happy and chewing on something. So a couple of bully sticks, always good to have. And then the other thing that I got as well, and I should have said, the bully sticks I got at my local Tractor Supply. And this is I got at my local Tractor Supply. So this is a trachea. So it's kind of along the lines of the bully stick, where it's natural, it's safe for them to eat and digest. But the difference, or the reason I got it, is because they're hollow in the middle. So it's literally beef trachea, right? The thing in your neck, but from a cow. And so what you can do is you can stuff it and freeze it kind of like a Kong, but like an all natural edible Kong. So I can put things in here like some of his kibble soaked in food, all the things that you fill Kongs with, peanut butter, yogurt, that kind of stuff, and then either refrigerate it or freeze it and then give it to him. And now he's got this edible Kong that's going to keep him busy for a while. Just like with the bully sticks, I bought a really big one, so I'll definitely be cutting this into smaller pieces for him. But these are really cool to have on hand, especially when you're crate training puppies and you need them to be happy in their little crates. All right, so that about covers food and treats. Let's talk about the toys that I got him. So I went a little bit overboard. I told myself I would only buy a couple until I know the types of stuff that he likes. And then I kind of lost my mind and bought a lot of toys. So don't feel like you need to follow my lead and go just crazy. But you do want to have a couple of different types of toys. So I just thought this one was super cute. I got this at the local PetSmart for like $3. Just a little spider because they have Halloween themed toys out right now. I just thought he was super cute. I really like this little octopus. I got him at our local pet store. Gosh, what's it called? All Pets Considered. So that's where he came from. He's a little bit more expensive, but I just thought he was so cute. I had to buy him. I ordered some stuff from Chewy, and I'll show that to you in a minute. But they actually included a couple of free toys with my order, which is super awesome. Chewy's awesome. I'm a big fan of Chewy.com. I've ordered from them for years. I know a lot of clients have used them and have great stories. They tend to have really nice customer service. If you ever have an issue with your order, they're really quick to resolve that. And they do stuff like throw in free toys or send you like holiday cards, that kind of stuff. So as a company, I'm a big fan of Chewy.com. But these are just little soft ski dog toys. What else did we get? I had to get a lamb chop. I don't know why, but every single dog that I've met loves the lamb chop toys. And they come in a million different sizes. My mom's dog has a huge one. And I got the smallest one they had for my puppy because he's tiny. But the lamb chop toy, I don't know why dogs just really like these. Lamb chop I got as well at All Pets Considered. I don't remember how much he was. I want to say maybe like $6. I found this Outward Hound Hide-a-Squirrel, and these are one of my favorite toys, and we actually recommend this toy to a lot of our training clients and our puppy clients because you can use it in a bunch of different ways. But I found this one at Marshall's, and it was like $6. So Marshall's definitely my new favorite place to go and look for dog toys. I kind of forgot that they have a dog section because I've been without a dog for a little while. But the nice thing about these toys is it comes with these little, let's see if I can get one. I can't really get them out of here, but they're basically little stuffed squirrels. There's a couple of them. And so the dog can spend time like pulling them out of their little tree. But we also like it because the little squirrels are identical. We use this sometimes with our puppy clients when we're teaching a fetch. Because when you're teaching dogs to fetch a toy, We find it really helpful to use identical toys so that they don't have a preference where you throw one and they like that one better and then they don't want to swap for the other one that you're holding. So having something where they're little identical toys is really good when you're working on your fetch game with your puppies. Plus they're super cute. Another toy from Marshall's is this Outward Hound again. That's a really good brand. I found that their products hold up pretty well. I thought these were cute. They're little donuts. I mean, come on guys, this is ridiculous. Again, $6 at Marshall's. Really good price for these. I am kind of looking forward to seeing how big these look compared to the puppy and taking lots of pictures with him and his massive donut. I think that's going to be really cute. Of course, we had to buy some Kong toys. Kong's another brand that I'm a big fan of. They hold up really well. I actually already had these little teeny tiny Kongs. I've had them for a while and I've never had a dog small enough to be able to use these with, so I'm pretty excited. One of the reasons I really love Kongs is that they're dishwasher safe. So I threw these in the top shelf of my dishwasher, make sure they're nice and clean and sanitized for my new puppy. And I will be using them for sure with him, stuffing them with some food and treats to help keep him busy. He's a little bit older, so he's pretty much already through teething. So I don't know that he's going to need a lot of teething toys, but regardless, the Kongs are always a big hit. And I'm a big fan of the fact that you can throw them in the dishwasher. The other thing that we got, and I don't know if this is going to be too little or too big. I think this actually might be the right size, as I got this little mini Nylabone. I mean, this thing is like, I don't know, 4 inches, 3 inches. It's so cute. And depending on how strong of a chewer he is, this may be too soft for him. We may have to get him something more durable, or this might be right for him. So that's a big thing with chew toys. Anything that your dog, especially like the Nylabones or the bully sticks, that type of stuff that they're really going to be spending time gnawing on, you need to know what type of a chewer your dog or your puppy is. And you don't want to give them something that they're able to go through in an unsafe way. So if they're pulling off big chunks of your Nylabones and those type of things, it's probably not an appropriate chew toy for them. You either need to size up or go up in the type of durability, right? So on Nylabone, it tells you if this is for a gentle chewer, a moderate chewer, or an extreme chewer. My last dog, everything I bought her had to be rated for an extreme chewer because she just beavered through stuff so fast, and she was such a voracious chewer. Like, she would literally swallow this whole if you let her. So you gotta get to know your dog. Every new toy is a supervised only toy, and what I mean by that is he will only get it when I am watching and supervising until I know how he interacts with it, and I can tell if it's safe for him to have it unsupervised or not. The things that I generally feel safe after learning their habits to be an unsupervised toy would be things like your hard chews, your bully sticks, your Kongs. I generally don't like to leave things that have stuffing or pieces inside unsupervised because you don't want them swallowing that if they suddenly get it open and all of a sudden now there's new exciting things for them to play with and swallow. The stuffing is not meant to be swallowed even though it's a dog toy. The stuff on the inside is not edible. So just be mindful of that. And then I also got these cute little, they're called Holy Rollers, right? Because they have little holes in them. Again, I got 2 of them. They're different colors, but they're identical sizes and how they feel. So we'll see if he likes these, and we can use these for playing fetch. It's by the JW company. Again, it's another good company I like. The bigger ones of these, if you have a bigger breed puppy, or even I might get him a bigger one just to do this, you can get the bigger ones, and then get some old fabric, an old t-shirt, some old felt, and put it in, tie it in a knot, and roll it up and like stuff food in there, right? So then you can turn this into kind of a enrichment discovery toy for them. So that's a great use for these guys as well, aside from actually like throwing and fetching. Then of course I had to get a cute basket. Another Marshall's fine. It was like $7. I just thought it was super cute to keep all of his things in. And I find that a lot of dogs enjoy pulling stuff out of their basket. So once everything gets pulled out and it's on the floor, I'll put it back in, and then it's another exciting round of pulling stuff out of their basket. So that's dog toys. Let's move on to, I don't know what we call this. Let's move on to the next section. Potty and grooming. So what do we know about puppies? Their bladders are really small. They haven't learned how to hold it for long periods of time. They're going to need to be potty trained. So with that, we expect some amount of potty accidents in the house. That's normal. That's to be expected. It's nothing to punish the puppy over. But you do want to be prepared. So you want to make sure you have a good cleaner. Definitely an enzyme or an enzymatic cleaner. I like the Nature's Miracle, and it says right on it, enzyme formula. There's a couple of other brands as well that make similar products. So test them out, see which one you like and what works best for you. Some of them are scented, and some of the scents I find really unpleasant. So that's another difference, but it's really just personal preference. I like the Nature's Miracle enzyme formula. I'm sure we'll go through this. So definitely want a cleaner for the pee and poop accidents in the house. The other thing you're gonna need are poop bags. So there's a million different options out there for poop bags. There's a million different options for poop bag holders. I'm not a big fan of having the poop bag holders attached to my leash. I prefer to just take a couple bags and either stuff them in my pocket or tie them on the end of the leash. Those plastic things that kind of hang on the end of your leash just annoy me personally. So I got the earth rated poop bags. I like these. They're not so thin that they rip. That's really gross when you're going to pick up poop and the bag's ripped. And these are in one big roll, so they're not the little rolls, because like I said, I don't generally want to carry those in a poop bag holder. So I can just pull them off the roll and go for our walk or go outside. With pee and poop comes grooming, because they're going to make a mess. And potentially they might get some on them. So I bought a puppy shampoo. This is the Earth Bath Ultra Mild Puppy Shampoo in Wild Cherry. This brand's been around a long time. It's pretty mild. When I looked at the ingredients, there's not a lot of stuff in it that I'm not a fan of. And there's not a ton of fragrance in it, although it does have fragrance. I would much prefer it to be fragrance free. But I'm actually lucky that my best friend is a professional dog groomer. She's the one that hopefully will be doing all of my grooming needs with this new puppy, at least until she teaches me how to keep up with that on him. And she's going to be giving me some of the shampoo bars that she uses in her business, which I'm excited about. But for now, we'll use this puppy shampoo anytime he's dirty, or I know the breeder said that he's getting bathed on a pretty regular basis, like twice a month. So he's already pretty used to bath time. Hopefully that will transition to my house. I don't have them now. They're still on order. But I have a comb, a couple slicker brushes. What else did I order? Nail clippers, toothbrush. So I have all of those things because I've had dogs forever and I'm a professional dog trainer and I have tons of dog stuff. But I wanted to buy fresh, clean, brand new, that kind of stuff for the puppy. So I have a new brush coming. I have a new slicker brush coming, recommended by the groomer, the one that recommended by his breeder, the one that she likes to use. The comb was recommended by my best friend, who's a professional groomer. Nail clippers, it's just a personal preference, the kind I like to use. But getting new means that they're going to be nice and sharp. That's the only downside to using an old pair of dog nail clippers, is they get dull or they get rusty as they get older. And so you want to use new ones that are nice and sharp. And then of course I got some toothpaste and toothbrush, because like with most puppies, that's something you want to introduce really early. And because he is a toy breed puppy, the smaller the puppy or the smaller the adult dog, generally the small breeds have more dental issues because they have the same number of teeth, which I think is so amazing, as a large breed dog. So little Chihuahua has the same number of teeth as a great big German Shepherd, but all of those teeth are smushed into, an inch or two of mouth space. So they tend to have more dental issues. They tend to lose more teeth as they get older, more buildup. So dental care is even more important if you have a small breed puppy. It's important with all dogs, just like it's important with all humans, no matter your diet and your other health, you need to take care of your teeth. But especially small breed puppies, you want to be really aware of dental health and get that started as early as possible, and have regular checkups and potentially start budgeting for regular dental cleanings, and then extractions possibly down the road with your vet. Okay, So let's go on to bedding, blankets, all that stuff. So I recently moved, and so I did not take all of my old dog blankets and dog towels with me because most of them were pretty ratty and old. So I had to buy all new of that stuff for this puppy. So I went to Big Lots because it's dog towels and dog blankets, and with a puppy, they're likely to get chewed on and ruined. So I didn't want to spend big bucks. So I got a couple of, they're actually pretty nice, just fleece blankets, 2 of these from Big Lots. I think they were like $6 a piece. They're probably not going to be super high quality where they're going to stand up to lots of washing, but you know, if they last me a while and get me through, you know, until he's a little older, I'm happy with that. So a couple of fleece blankets. You never know when you're going to need that. And then I also went to Big Lots and bought some just cheap towels. So again, he's a really small puppy, so I bought hand towels because that's pretty much all he's gonna need. And I'm gonna use these for things like wiping off his feet when he comes in, drying him off when I give him baths. I also have a forced air dryer that I'll use, so I won't need to just dry him with towels. But having stuff to like wipe him off when it's raining, wipe his feet when he comes inside, all of that stuff is helpful. So you can go to Big Lots, get a couple of cheap towels. These were like, I don't know, $4 for a 2-pack, and I bought two packs. Other thing to mention that I've already done is any new bedding, blankets, towels, any of that stuff that you're going to use with your puppy, you should definitely wash before you start using it. A lot of dogs have sensitive skin. And I also have sensitive skin, so I only use the free and clear laundry detergent, and that's what I recommend you use with your dogs. Even if you use different detergent, I would get a small bottle of the free and clear to wash your dog stuff in, because a lot of times the fragrance and the other chemicals in your normal laundry detergent, coming from a background in veterinary care, we saw a lot of dogs that would come in with unexplained like rashes and irritations on their bellies and their legs, and doing a little bit of detective work, we would find out that the dog had a sensitivity to the detergent or the fabric softener or whatever it was that they were using to wash their bedding and their towels and that kind of stuff. So blankets and towels, already washed, free and clear detergent. I also, again, you guys don't have to do this, but I went a little bit crazy. I'm turning into the crazy fur mom for sure, and I'm okay with that at this point in my life. I went to Hobby Lobby and bought some fleece and made him a little blanket just because I wanted him to have something special that I made for him. So, oh my gosh, look how little it is, guys. So I just bought 2 different types of fleece at Hobby Lobby. And you can just Google how to make a fleece dog blanket on YouTube or Google or whatever, and you can either knot it, or this is the unknotted version, which I like a little bit better than the ones I've made in the past that are knotted. And for not doing this for a long time, I think it came out pretty good, and for having scissors that were not super cooperative. So he's got his own custom-made little 2-sided puppy blanket made by Mom. And then the most ridiculous thing, guys, that I bought this puppy, and I'm most excited, and I really hope he likes it, because if he won't use it, I'm going to be kind of brokenhearted about it, is I bought him this dog couch on Wayfair. So just hold on a second. You have to see this. It's so cute and ridiculous. So it's literally like 12 inches off the ground. It says it's only rated to hold up to 10 pounds, so like really, really small dogs. But oh my gosh, guys, it's a little dog couch. How cute is this? And it's actually pretty nice. Like the cushion's pretty supportive, and it kind of matches the decor in my living room. So this is the most extra thing I bought of all the puppy stuff. Obviously, this is not a necessity at all, but I saw it and I just could not say no. So this is from Wayfair. It was on sale, which is probably the only reason I did it. If it was full price, I wouldn't have bought it. But yeah, that's his little doggy couch. Let me move that out of the way. I also bought him just a regular dog bed. And I realized after this arrived that it's probably going to be way too big. So this is a size small, and it's quite large. So I got this off of Chewy. Chewy.com. It's the Frisco Eyelash Round Pet Bed. It's super soft. I really liked how it looked. It looks like it's going to be really cozy for him to snuggle in. It's not, it doesn't have a removable cover, but it does say that you can put it in the washing machine, so that's good. I'm a big fan of only buying beds that can be put in the washer or that have a removable cover that can be put in the washer. Otherwise, they get super dirty and stinky, and after 6 months, they're just gross, and you end up having to throw them out and get new ones, and buying new dog beds every 6 months gets super expensive. So got him a little dog bed. I did buy him a dog crate, and I have it set up in his pen. So he has a little playpen for inside the house, and at the end of the playpen is this crate. So he's got kind of this little puppy condo. That's my preferred setup for puppies. However, when you have a larger breed puppy, it becomes not possible to have that setup because everything is just so much bigger. So he's a small puppy, right? He's gonna max out at like 5 to 6 pounds full grown, right? Just to give you an idea, he's really little. So I'm able to get a small playpen and a small crate and fit it in an area of my living room that I'm not gonna be tripping over, that's not taking up, most of my usable space. So I did get him a crate. I really like the Midwest eye crates. That's what I bought for him. I bought him the size small, which again, it's gonna be a little bit too big for him. But it does come with a divider panel. I will probably be using that with him, but at least it gives him some room to grow into it once he's fully potty trained and crate trained. Then he can use the full space in there if he wants to spread out and lounge that way. And then I did get a small playpen, which is basically just metal panels that you can put into whatever shape you like. And they attach together, and there's a door on one of the panels so you can step in and out of it, which is why I bought that and not just, metal panels, because then you're jumping over stuff, and I'm super clumsy and I would trip and fall and catch my shins all the time, guaranteed. So the other thing I bought, and you might want to think about depending on the layout of your house, is a gate for your stairs. So if you have 2 stories, or if you have stairs that lead into a basement or something like that, you probably don't want your puppy running up and down stairs without supervision. I'm actually more worried about this tiny puppy like falling down the stairs just because of how small he is and hurting himself. So we'll be putting the gate up anytime he's out in that area where he can access the stairs, unless I'm going to be walking up and down the stairs with him, because he will have to learn how to do stairs. That is a life skill that dogs need to learn, but I don't want him doing it when I'm not paying attention, and I'm not there to kind of supervise and help him if he's struggling. So this is just a 3-panel wooden gate, right? Again, little puppy. It doesn't have to be as sturdy and secure as if I had a larger puppy. You would want something that probably is bolting into your wall and that is more secure. I don't think he's going to be able to push this over. So the next section is leashes and collars. So I'm still waiting on his tag. That was one thing that it just hasn't arrived yet. But you definitely want some sort of identification on your puppy anytime that they're leaving the house, just in case. Even if they're microchipped, microchip is definitely recommended as an additional form of identification. The problem with microchips is that it's not readily apparent that your pet is identified. They have to bring the pet somewhere, a vet office, potentially, a fire department, police station. Sometimes they have the scanners too, to have them scanned to see if they have a microchip. So having an ID tag is also a really good idea as well, with something just as simple as your phone number and address, or your phone number, or some sort of way that they can contact you if, God forbid, your puppy got out the door and took off, or, the leash broke or the collar broke or something like that happened and they took off when you were out walking them around outside. You want a way for people to identify who he belongs to. So we do have a tag coming. It's super cute. I'm really excited. Everything is so small and little and adorable. I'm kind of dying of cuteness overload as I'm buying all of this stuff. But we also got him a collar and just a light leash. So I'm a big fan of a drag line or a house line, meaning your puppy wears a light leash or a light piece of rope, whatever you have handy, when they're loose in the house. so that if they start to wander into an area that you don't want them to have access to, or they're maybe doing something they shouldn't, like starting to chew on your couch, or, you know, bark at the mailman out the window, or whatever, you know, the whole host of things that puppies do that we don't like but they don't know aren't appropriate yet, because it's our job to teach them. So having a leash on them is a really great way to redirect them to a better area, a more appropriate activity or toy, without having to constantly chase after them, grab at them, pick them up. It's just better, it's less conflict. You know, you can pick the leash up and kind of guide them over to where you want them, or step on the leash and keep them from getting there in the first place. Yeah, so light leash, this is not what we'll be using for walking most likely. So I just bought kind of a cheap, again, light, because he's a small puppy, leash on Amazon. I think this was like $5. And then I also bought a matching collar, because why not? And I honestly think this might be too big for him. So I'm going to keep the tags on until I get him, so that we can size it. But this is just a really small martingale collar. So I like those because it keeps the puppy from being able to slip out of them, as opposed to a flat collar. Especially because this puppy is going to be very fluffy, and so I think he's deceptively fluffy. I want to make sure that he can't pop a collar off when I'm trying to use the leash to guide him. But this is just a Pet Safe brand martingale collar, and this is the size petite, which is the smallest one they make. And it can be made smaller. It is adjustable. I haven't done that yet because I kind of want to eyeball it when he gets here to see if it's something that will work at all, or if I need to exchange it for something else. So leash and collar. I highly recommend that if you're putting your puppy, and you should be, putting your puppy in a crate or a playpen, some sort of secure confinement. It's definitely a must when you're training your puppy, and it gives you a break from having to be on puppy duty 24/7. But I like my puppies to be naked, and even my older dogs, I like them to be naked when they're unsupervised, when they're crated and confined, just in the off chance that some part of their collar might accidentally get stuck on the bars of the crate or the bars of the pen, wherever they are. And if you're not home, or maybe you're in a different part of the house and you can't hear them, God forbid they would get stuck and hurt themselves, or just, you know, there's a million things that could happen. So that collar is really only going to be worn when I am with him. He'll be naked, as we say, when he's unsupervised and left in his pen or in his crate. So something to think about for your puppy. So the other thing that I have is a slip lead. This is the smallest one I could find. He's used to being walked by his breeder on a show lead, which is basically just a nicer looking slip lead. Because most people that show dogs, that's how they show them. You know, you watch the dog show, Westminster, the Kennel Club, all that kind of stuff. The dogs are on these type of, let's see if I can show you what it is, a slip lead. So there's like, this kind of, I call it the lasso, right? Like the lasso leash, like you would use like on a horse, right? When you're, I don't know why I think that, but like lasso, you know, like the cowboys used with horses to catch horses. That was a thing, I don't know. But it's a slip lead, so it's a leash and collar in one. It has this little stopper so you can adjust it so that it's snug enough that it's not going to come off, but not so snug that it's putting pressure on the puppy. So that's what this little stopper is for. So that's probably what I will walk him with, at least initially, because that's what he's accustomed to. That's what the breeder's been using, is a show lead, which is fancier, nicer looking slip lead. And then we'll go from there. You know, there's a whole host of options out there. So if you want to, you know, use a harness on your puppy, go ahead. I'm a big fan of, you know, using harnesses on small puppies and not teaching them to pull against their collar until they're ready to be leash trained and work on loose leash walking. So if you just want something to take your puppy from point A to point B, or for quick potty breaks or quick walks around the neighborhood, a harness is totally okay for that. You just want to make sure that it fits them well. Harnesses are definitely easier for puppies to slip out of, and that's something that happens a lot. So making sure that it's adjusted really well on their chest and around their chest, their chest and around their back is really important. And the problem is a lot of the small puppy harnesses are just not adjustable enough. They tend to be like mesh or material, and it's just Velcro, so there's no adjustability. There's no way to make it smaller or larger. So I will have to see how big he is and if we can find a harness option for him, or I may just forego a harness altogether, because we have some collar and leash options, and he's old enough that we're definitely going to start working on loose leash walking pretty much right away. But yeah, harnesses, leashes, collars, just pick the one that makes the most sense for your puppy and your family and your lifestyle. Just make sure it fits them well and it's adjusted well so that they can't slip out of it. That's the only thing. The only lesson I want you to take home is just make sure it's fitted well. Because if they pull back and try to back out of it, and it pops over their head, or with the harnesses, it kind of comes up over their back and over their head, and now they're naked, loose, running in the middle of the street. That is the last thing I want for your puppy. It's dangerous, it's scary, it's traumatizing for everyone. So you just want to make sure that you have a secure way to walk your puppy, whether it's a collar or harness, whatever you're using, head halter, whatever. There's a million options out there. Find one that works for you and your puppy, and use it well and make sure it's fitted well. The last thing I will talk about is car safety and travel safety. I'm a big advocate of car safety because unfortunately I know a lot of families and dogs and people that have had bad stuff happen when they've been in a car accident, and they've had a dog in the car and it was not securely confined. Bad stuff can happen the same way that when you have kids in the car and they're not in their car seats, bad stuff happens when you're in a car accident. So think of your puppy as a newborn baby. You're bringing home from the hospital. You would 100% put that newborn baby in a carrier, in a properly installed, properly fitted, age-appropriate baby carrier. You should put that much thought into how you're going to travel with your puppy in the car. He's a small breed puppy, so I'm very lucky that even when he's full grown, he will definitely fit in a crate in my car. Heck, I could probably put a dozen of the type of crates that he fits into my car. With larger breed puppies, that's obviously not going to be an option unless you have a very large vehicle or you're having like a custom crate built, which is cost prohibitive for most people. So if crating your dog or your puppy isn't an option in your car, the next best thing is to get a car harness, which may be different from the harness that you use when you're walking, because you want to make sure that it's a Y harness, meaning it comes right like in a Y down across their chest, so that if they were in an accident and they were to kind of get pulled by the momentum of the car stopping quickly, all of the pressure would hopefully be into the harness on their chest, not around their neck or on their back or any other part of their body. So a good car harness, again, proper fit is so important, and then some sort of a tether or attachment. And they make a bunch of different options, but you want something that's securely attached to your car, not a leash that you're tied around like the armrest or an ocean handle in your car, but either something that buckles into the seatbelt. They make several tethers that way. They do make ones that clip around the headrest, the metal part of the headrest, and then there's a piece that comes down that clips onto your puppy's harness. So harness and tether secured to something movable, something that is not going to give in the event of a car accident, right? So the seat belts, metal part of the frame in the cargo area of your SUV, all of those are good options. Something that's keeping their movement limited, which means the harness and tether combo shouldn't be allowing them to walk back and forth across all of the seats in your back seat, or jump over the seat, or get onto the floor of the back seat, or wherever they are. They should be pretty limited in their ability to move. Basically, they should be able to stand up and sit down or lay down in one small area. That's going to be the best option if you can't crate. And if you can't do either of those two things, you probably shouldn't have your dog in the car. It's just really not safe. Again, it's like having kids loose in the car without a car seat. It's just not a good option. So I think that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more puppy videos and the puppy reveal. I'm really excited to introduce you guys to him. He's so cute. I'm gonna lose my mind. I can't even stand it, and I haven't, I don't even have him yet. But anyway, happy puppy training. Bye.